You know, I was holding it off to talk about this because everybody on YouTube will talk about this. The Xbox Scorpio, a more powerful Xbox One that's supposedly be coming out in 2017. The Xbox Slim that's supposed to come out this year. Not to mention that micro Xbox that's like a Chromecast or they on Amazon Fire Stick or whatever you call that shit. They talk about so much Xbox, talk about so many new games. Not to mention the PlayStation Neo. And you know, I was holding back on making videos about this because you see a lot of people think that it's a bad idea. Some people are for it. They looking for this more powerful hardware, especially people like me that have PS4 since 2013. I got that shit on day one. But guys like him that got that shit like last year or this year, you pick up a PS4 and you just sit there like, you know, they bringing out a new system. And I just got the PS4, or it's like 40 millions of us with a PS4. Three and almost ain't it 3 yet. 3 years will be like October of this new generation, and they already talking about upgrading it. And then we actually sit back and think about it. We wanted something to be affordable, however we wanted it to be powerful, but you can't get both because they actually made it powerful. The games, the actual consoles themselves would cost a lot more money, so they had to make it a little weaker for it to be a little bit more affordable for people to actually pick up the consoles. That's why the PS4 had that advantage, more powerful than the Xbox One, but it was actually cheaper than it as well. And then people are like, it ain't running 60 frames per second. They complain you can't win. And then now you bring out a more powerful console. People still complain because they don't want to buy another console. But go ahead, John. What do you think?
A lot of this is very interesting because the history of gaming has always been get so you get base console, then a few years later they pop out something way more powerful. You saw that for the Super Nintendo, and they made the top loader. Then pretty much you saw that with Sega Genesis with 60-bit, 16-bit, then 32X version came out. Sega CD turned to the Sega Saturn, and so on, so on, and so forth. Which that PlayStation did this too. Xbox kind of did this, and it's happening now again. Except for now, this is that golden era because every era is always a fucking problem. So this era, as I always say, first it was multiplayer. Like if the game don't got multiplayer, then like the game sucked. Now it's if the game don't run at 60 frames per second and has more than
1080p resolution.
no, actually it's about to be 4K now.
Yeah, so 1440.
Pretty much, and most motherfuckers are kind of like complaining about that shit now. And yes, I understand that this is the brand new era. We have to upgrade. We have to be better. We have to do this and that and all the rest of this other goofy shit. But when I think about it, nobody really has complained about their PlayStation 4s dying out. Nobody has really complained about their Xbox Ones like dying out or red ringing or not being able to play games at the moment.
When they first came out, there were a few ducks, but other than that, there is nothing to really be talking
That's normal. That is normal.
But the thing, I think what they
That is
said
normal
what
thing.
triggered the Neo because the PSVR run like shit on the original PlayStation 4. And to be honest with you, what really triggered it is that Nintendo Index. That's the thing. Nintendo kind of like, you know what, fuck it, put a core on the Wii U, and they bring out another console next year, 2017.
I have said this time and time.
So when they did that,
and
they're like, wait,
time
come on. Nintendo could actually just jump ship and make a next generation console. We ain't gonna do that though. We're gonna upgrade our console, like let's say wait 4 years.
They've been talking about this shit for
I know
the
they
past
wait
few
4
while
years and then they put an upgrade there. They probably gonna make the console generation last 3 more years, and then they'll bring out the actual successors of the old ones.
Is everybody like just taking like the worst tips from Sega at this point?
Nintendo did it though.
No. Nintendo's doing that shit with them pulling the plug upon the fucking Wii U because they couldn't do anything with it, even though they could have, and that's what Sega did with the Sega CD, the fucking 32X, and then combined that shit and then made the Sega 32X, and then did all that goofy shit, and now fucking like Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft are pulling shit from their book, from their bag. I don't really get it because like these two major companies are pulling shit from the Sega bag of like just upgrade the console to make it better for like all these other things that really don't need to be brought about at the
sit there and think about, because people like argue about where the new PS4 need to come out. They said, somebody said 2023. Are you fucking shitting me? That's like 10 years. But listen,
it may last that long.
You actually sit there and think about it. The PS1 came in 1996, right? 1994. The PS2 came out in 2003, 2006. So that's 6 years per console. And then this 4 came out in 7 years, in 2013. So if you actually look at it, 2019, there should be a PS5.
Actually, don't even look at it like that.
I'm just being...
If I'm looking from like the slim dates, because I am a bit skewed on the dates, but I'm pretty sure that most consoles were alive for about 3 years until like the slim versions came out, and then, or at least like the upgraded versions came out, and then that's when they will push the other.
The slim's a little bit better, but the inside the damn console was relatively the same.
But the problem is now is that
it actually more powerful. Like what Xbox talking about is like
everybody's trying to push this 3D gimmick, and they've been
VR.
Well, now 3D first, now VR and some other goofy shit, and I'm like.
But the thing is, though, Xbox thought it'll be like 4 times stronger than the Xbox One. I'm sitting there thinking about
none of that matters unless they use it.
It's a rumor. It's a rumor. If they do that, you literally just separate the German graphic. The PlayStation didn't do that.
Here's the interesting.
Because Neo and the regular one gonna work simultaneously. Just the regular people just get a more shittier version of the damn game.
The interesting part is that none of that matters if they don't do anything with it, which is usually the reason why most companies why they never do that. Because as you said, and as I've said, and as most of the net has pretty much pointed out, that you can't do stuff like that because if you do, you alienate people. Because now they're trying to turn consoles into PCs, and they're virtually already there. The only step that they need now is just to make games like able to like switch resolutions, which that may be the next step, man.
But nobody actually talked about that failure that Nintendo did, that new 3DS. They separated with that shit. Because as soon as you got 3DS and they came out the new 3DS like 4 months later, it seemed like you just took your 3DS and threw it out the window. That's just how it seemed, because you don't really play it like that.
No, it's not sitting right over there.
You don't play it like that though, man.
Nah, I play Pokemon on it every now and again. I play Shin Megami Tensei 4.
It's sitting on there with a CD and 2 goddamn bars on top of it.
What, 2 candy bars on top of it? Yeah. But either way, because I was thinking about that, and I'm like, I think that's what most companies, what they want to do. They want to upgrade the console just to get more sales. But then you think about it, and it's like, well, why are more sales coming when really you're not using the hardware? Because I know a lot of folks, or at least like a lot of PC gamers now, compare PC games to the PlayStation 4, and they constantly talk about resolution and what's going on with that. And I'm like, it's not that important. If somebody wants to play a game on consoles and it runs at 30 frames per second, then let it. But then again, games can't run at 30 frames per second anymore because nobody really accepts that shit anymore. Everything has to be 60 frames per second now. Because yes, I know the Super Nintendo and the Sega and most early games they ran at 50 to 60. Yes, I know. But honestly, if you want a game to run at that mode and shit and stuff like that, there are better ways to do that than trying to put out a brand new console and update features to alienate people to have this problem.
Alienated, it just the disc will work for any evil PS4, and you can just hit on Neo mode and normal mode. I mean, it not really alienating us. If you that person that care about specs and hardware, like, oh shit, let me pick this up. For those who don't give a fuck, to keep your regular console.
As I just said, this shit could easily turn into just turn on or turn off these features to get your game to run faster. But then again, that kind of goes against the console mentality.
Like you got True Be True Revolution, or you just True Be True frame rate.
Especially since
That'd
like
be cool they were able to do that, but
the original console mindset was, I don't have the PC version because I can just pop in the console version and just play, and then it runs at like the same high end resolution of whatever the
but
PC
as far as
is.
talk about that Project Scorpio, seemed like a Xbox 2, like the next gen version, because they said 4 times more powerful. They're like a next gen version of the damn Xbox. If they talk about some shit that damn and different,
none of that matters unless they do something with it, and they won't. And they didn't do anything with the Kinect, and they're not going to do anything with.
I think Microsoft just waved that little white flag because they lost, and
honestly, they really didn't lose. They
dropped that shit to $2.99.
I mean, honestly, they really didn't lose. I mean, like at the very end, like they were running like a very like pretty successful company to where that they sold millions of their console. Now, of course, the PlayStation wins, man, the war because like it sold so many because it's just a traditional system. Take a game, put it in, play your fucking game. Simple as that, right?
And now you're bringing out that damn Neo, which could piss off a lot of people just to ask for the money in VR.
Of course, it's gonna piss folks off because not a lot of people really care about VR. I mean, like VR isn't big enough to where that you can look at that as something like, okay, this is like the next phase of gaming. At this point, the only VR thing that's actually doing anything good is the Oculus Rift, and they mostly use that shit for fucking scary games, or at least man like things man to jump scare you and shit, which is okay, but like that's not something man that's screaming to me, okay, this is like the next phase in the gaming era. Like this just screams like novelty, scary like walk in a mansion and you get immersed like in this area because you can't fight back shit.
Or you walk somewhere, you buy your nuts and throw you through a wall, something like that.
It's just normal shit, and it's like it's nothing big. I mean, like even when Xbox did that shit with their little weird ass like sunglasses and shit, and they showed you like, okay, it's used like this in Minecraft. Okay.
I just want to sit in front of the damn TV and play a video game.
I can see that being used for games like Civilization, or maybe like a top down like a third person game or something which that you're being a world builder. I can see that, but other than that, like I don't really. It doesn't scream like there's enough applications, or at least like there's not enough examples of saying, okay, they need to make a brand new console to push this specific gimmick, because now it's just a gimmick. VR is still a gimmick. It's not something that's screaming, okay, you need to make a brand new console to push this fucking thing. Like it's not proven yet. I mean, it's proven in horror games, hasn't been proven in first person shooters, has been proven in like platformers, has been proven in action games.
Sword Art Online type of VR, out there fighting down RPG. Oh my lord!
They made a Sword Art Online promotion.
Oh my lord!
That's what they made. They made a promotion.
Can you imagine that shit, man?
I can imagine, but they won't do it. They will probably do it.
Look at people like this all day. I swear.
All that's nice and fine and all that, and like it will be wonderful to take what the Wii was and turn that into the VR world, bring that over into VR. That would be amazing.
I can see it now. You take that
but
VR,
they won't.
Or you have like a fire cart shadow, bags on your eyes. Like,
all that is fine.
You hit me like DayShawn. I lost my job. How, man? I've been playing video game for 2 weeks straight.
But the problem with that is, though, is that they are years away from actually perfecting that to where that they can push it to that level. At this point, it's just first person horror games.
I'm not even investing in that. But when it comes to like PlayStation 4K or PlayStation Neo or PlayStation 4.5, whatever the fuck you want to call it, you see, if I actually bought let's say I'm about to get a new apartment, right? If I get a 4K TV, I might just get that just to watch 4K movies on it.
At this point, I like the idea. I like the innovation of where they're going with it. But at the end of the day, I don't see enough applications to actually even push towards a PlayStation Neo unless they wanted it to make like a PlayStation Slim version of just saying, okay, it's a smaller version, it's a little bit more powerful, and then pretty much we can use this like as a price cut version to tell people to get get this brand new PlayStation. If that's what they were doing, fine. If Xbox was doing that, fine. But for them to say we have like a system that is 4 times more powerful, there's no reason for that shit. Like, there's no reason for them, man, to make like a PlayStation that's meant for PlayStation VR if there are no games out PlayStation VR.
To be honest with you, I think
y'all don't gotta take that garbage out. I took it all already.
To be honest with you though, they could have waited to the next generation. I mean, you want to rush out a new console, you should just waited like at least 2018, 2019, and then put VR on that if VR were proving successful. Just because everybody else doing it don't mean you should just jump on the hype. I know that's what you're trying to say, but
what I'm saying is that the Oculus, because of how successful it was with it promoting horror games, it's a pretty good system for promoting horror games. That's fine. I want to see this being used for other types of games. I mean, like, I would say that this would be a good idea for them to push PlayStation VR if they would have been using this to talk about, okay, we have this first-person shooter, and then pretty much you use the glasses to look around and do this, or we have this brand new Condemned game, which they're like, you go around and you have to use your senses and stuff for him, man, to like solve crimes and stuff like that. This would be a cool thing if it's like, oh, okay, you have like this like action game that's supposed to be like Uncharted and stuff like that, and then pretty much you have to like traverse all these landscapes and stuff like that, and fight off enemies and tackle guns and swords and stuff, or you do like this Skyrim S game because it's all first person. So it would be nice if they were doing that, but they're not.
We don't see exactly
They're
how
not.
this gonna turn out, but
So,
they shouldn't jump on the bandwagon this soon. They, like I said, they should wait at least 2 years. Like, they should get it to 2018, and then they should be dropping the plan for the PS5 instead of doing this.
Just show me some more applications for it, and then I would have been okay with them doing this PlayStation Neo.
They just saying
fine.
they just know that they released the console weak as fuck, and they mashing out already. And they kind of see like, what the fuck we gonna do? We gotta do something.
Well, first off, they already know that if they tried to do that, they wouldn't be making as much money as they were now. They would actually be having to give back more money than what they're doing now if they wanted to make the PlayStation 4 powerful enough to even do that. And also, who's to even say though that if they do that, that's not going to change the disc games that we already have now? Because if that's the case, then the disc games we have now, that doesn't mean that they're just going to instantly go to 60 frames per second, because some games are locked at 30. So there's nothing they can do about that.
Program that. If the developer actually wanted to, they could program it. And when you put it in the Neo, it'll have the option to change it. But like every game gonna have an update to.
Some games are locked at 30, and some
they can unlock it.
And some games, when they unlock them, the games run worse than what they did previous.
Be all bruggy and broken.
And then like the game just randomly crashes.
You just roll and you go inside the ground or some shit.
Do you see the PC version of Arkham Knight versus the console?
I've seen that shit.
It's like, that's not a good thing.
But shit. But anyway, we're about to end this because I'm about to head to the grill. Tell you guys, stay make sure to rate, comment, subscribe. Check out this guy that talk a lot. Channel description below.
Well, you were talking a lot too. So this is a passionate conversation. So.
I know. We were indifferent with it.
Actually, we're kind of on the same note.
I'm buying this shit. I mean, not day one though. But I don't get it eventually.
You'll get it when the price cut comes. And
I get it right in the 4K TV.
And I respect you for that.
But anyway, have a good one. Peace out.
Later.